Hello and welcome to part 33. I'd just like to talk a little bit about refugees and the current situation in Syria again. There's more besides that, but let me backtrack for a minute. And this isn't about me. I just remember when I was a boy of 7 or 8, dreaming computer dreams. I was into computer games. I remember in computers at an early age, and the remote control helicopter came into fruition, and I thought, wouldn't it be neat if they could attach a camera to it and be able to visually see some sort of visual from the helicopter and play it like a video game. And then I thought, well, this is maybe intrusive. We'd go into someone else's yard, and so I turned the page on that idea, not knowing that many decades later it would be used in such horrible ways. But there is good in it, is what I've learned. Photography, for one, is one use. I suggest that unmanned drones may be a good use for delivering food to the refugees. If they do get shot down, there's always another one that can be sent. Packages of food, clothing, whatever supplies they need. And then maybe beyond that, creature comforts is what I call them, like something that would be above and beyond what's needed, but something of comfort to them. And so maybe this could be sent. Okay, I also remember during the Bosnian War, I had a statement I made, and the quote that sort of sticks in my mind is, the paradox is, how do you find peace in wartime? And the answer is, you can't. Was my, for being 23, I thought that was something, but really it doesn't cover everything as much as I thought it did. Just being in conflict and not being able to get along with others outside of your race or your religion is a problem, and until that's resolved, you can't begin to truly have peace, or at least coexist, or coexist alongside someone. So these are all important matters for all. And I would also suggest that we don't drag our heels, yet at the same time use good deliberation, like take our time to think things through, but at the same time, Godspeed, resolve a conflict as soon as possible, most soon, as I say. Not carelessly or recklessly, but being careful yet timely, getting it done as soon as possible. I might suggest, I don't know much about the conflict, I must admit, in Yemen. I don't fully understand it. But let me take a pause. But perhaps a ceasefire is needed now. It seems the fighting is escalating, and why not a ceasefire until the talks and wait and see how that goes. And if it's not to your liking, of course, you have the option to begin again, which is really no option whatsoever as far as I'm concerned. But you will do as you will, I guess. But hear the sides out. I mean, hear the, let it play out as far as discourse and talking. And it sounds like that's well underway, and I don't want to ruffle feathers there. I wish them the best. I wish them peace, harmony, and tranquility, and whatever it may be. Moving on, I wish the world could decide on this important issue. I think one important issue is I'm just thinking, I may not have enough room on my computer for this. I'll try anyway. Anyway, the 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 thought of not being able to see women, or women not being able to work, or not being able to go to school, if we could all come to a consensus that we're all equals and they have certain inalienable rights, and therefore they have a right to dress as they will, not forced to do something, or it hinted even in the remotest way that they should wear a certain thing or something like that, but what they're comfortable with, what they would choose to wear, and they have the ability to go to school and get decent jobs or better, and like that. I think that should be a new trend throughout the Middle East and elsewhere. I understand the concerns, perhaps not fully, but I do believe in a higher power where we can do these things, that people are more civil than you would imagine, even though we watch the news and we see the worst of people, the worst bit of people, meaning the smallest part of them is maybe not so good sometimes, but by and large they're more than they more than have a good side. They're better than that, and so if you keep that in mind, that everyone has more than a good side, it can help. And if you're on this earth, you have worth, is what I say. I don't know if people agree with that, but I feel strongly about that. I've met enough people. I've probably met thousands of people. I mean, maybe even 10,000 people or something like that. And it just makes sense to me that everyone I've met, people with problems, people with horrible backgrounds or whatever it is, they still have a good side, and it's more than a good side. It's beyond just a side of them. It's far more than half. They're a decent person. It just sometimes they do awful things, and this should not happen. I mean, crime needs to be thwarted. They need to realize that crime is serious, and we shouldn't give them reason to want to commit crime. I mean, maybe incentives not to commit crime would be a good idea. I don't have any suggestions at this moment, but okay, I think this has run on a little too long, so I'm going to go. But if we could reach a consensus about, I know, I don't think Muhammad would really agree with the extremism that goes on in Islam. I think he would be peaceful and caring and considerate, and all these things. Allah too. Not so extreme. Violence and war and all this holy war, and again I'd say to the Palestinians, the Gazans especially, peacefully protest if you will, but do it well within the bounds of Gaza, meaning far away from the wall, and maybe even set up a symbolic wall or something there. It's just a Gaza wall or something, but demonstrate peacefully, and don't. I mean, even burning things seems violent. I don't know. Maybe signs saying, why not this, or whatever, why not what. I don't know. I don't know what you would say, but make it heard, and away from Israel, and maybe you can get heard by the world. And I hope these talks happen soon with Godspeed. I really do. I've been talking and pushing for it. I don't mean to be pushy or intrude into other people's space or whatever it may be, but I care, and I'd like to see this happen. So talks everywhere. There's the semblance of non-peace. That there needs to be a cessation of hostilities, and not only on the battlefield, but seeing people as people. I mean, people are people, and they have worth, and they are significant. We just lost a first lady here, and she'll be missed. I mean, she was a great lady, and to have her leave this planet is just tragic. It's a tragedy that any one of us should leave, and animals too. And I mean, we've been into this before about vegetarianism versus eating some meat. It's fine to eat some meat, is what I believe. But I digress. So please give these things some thought. Maybe watch this twice. I don't know. But I wish you well. I wish everyone well. Does that make any sense? All sides of every conflict, of all these people, even those, that possibly have committed war crimes, I still wish them well, knowing that justice will be served. It may not be as bad as some imagine, but knowing this, I can still wish a criminal well, and maybe hope they don't commit more crimes or whatever, for their sake and others. And so you can even wish a criminal well, if that makes any sense. Wish others well. Blessed are the well-wishers is a saying that was in Monty Python, I remember. They get the statement wrong, but blessed are the cheesemakers is what they hear. But it's blessed are the well-wishers, those that wish others well. Very important key to survival, I think, to getting along, to coexisting, whatever. Wish others well throughout the globe. I mean, everyone, everywhere. Care about everyone. To some extent, I mean, we don't have to go overboard. We don't have to be lovey-dovey towards everyone, or even brotherly love is good, but there are limits to how far that goes, I think, for civility and people being within their comfort zone. But I need to go, so I wish you well, whoever you may be, and God bless, and bye.